Hey guys, so I'm back with the new video which took me years to culminate and synthesize the big picture we are all in, and this may be the most difficult thing for all of us to digest, guys. Yeah, guys, but if you look, I know you are already a truther, already into conspiracy. You already know 99% of what is going on in planet Earth. We all do, right? But we have to go even further out of ourselves and look from outside in rather than inside out, guys. This will be very hard for even a conspiracy theorist like us to digest that you are just one episode in Star Trek. That's it, guys. The entire worth of our life, since childhood to death, our happiness and joy, sad and misery, is just can be compressed into one half an hour episode of Star Trek. If you look into the big picture analysis of the entire universe, our worth is just one episode, guys. I know this will be very hard for us as a species living in a mining quarry called Earth. I'm sorry, guys, this video is going to be super harsh. You may not like it, but we are living in a mining quarry. Earth is not a special planet. I'm sorry, it was, but now it has completely been mined out, and the aliens made sure this Earth never evolves, never grows back as long as we as an oxygen breathing species lives on it. So be ready, guys, this video is going to be long, but I promise you it will give you scientific proof 100 trillion percent. As I have said, we will give solution and the core problem. This took me years of thinking, years of research, but then ChatGPT came along and my research got compressed. But I promise you, they will not be able to accuse you of being a pseudo scientist or a conspiracy nutter. We will use their own science to prove what we are covering in this video, guys. You are just one episode in Star Trek because 99% of humans outside of United States do not know. The closest reality of this planet Earth is what we know in sci-fi movies, Star Trek and Star Wars, guys. But that is the most difficult because every religion, every culture, every species inside humanity thinks they are center of the world, guys. Especially the older the civilization, the greater the me, I am, from Greco-Roman to Indian Chinese. Indians think we are the center, Chinese think they are the center, America thinks they are the center. We are made to consume our own crap like anything. So you cannot think from outside in, guys. Think of a species that is watching you, that is traveling across the galaxy and coming across the planet called Earth. Just imagine, I'm making a scenario so that you will get the big picture where we stand in this universe, guys. And I promise you, we will take this through a scientific scenario only. So this is very crucial for us to understand the biggest picture, what the hell is actually going on in planet Earth, guys. So if an highly advanced race of beings, let's say Star Trek Enterprise, comes close to our planet Earth, and as they do, they check their defense system, they check the atmosphere, right? And they check if there are any biological living entities living on this planet Earth, etc., etc. So just imagine a species and its captain scanning our planet Earth right now. What will they get the data? Many will say, oh, humanity is bad. I am talking scientifically, guys. We are taking the science here to the extreme. When Captain Kirk comes across our planet Earth and he tells Spock to inspect the biological living condition of planet Earth, what do you think the scientist inside Star Trek Enterprise will come across? Do you have any idea what you are? You have no clue. The evil that designed you, guys. I am telling you, be ready. I do not even know if we are worth an episode in Star Trek because they encounter many species on their way to explore many different planets. But I am just thinking, hopefully they will include us in one episode of Star Trek because our species is not even worth, I will feel at this moment, for any civilization to interact with us. And I will give you scientific proof of why, because we need to cross this barrier first so that we are eligible to be included in galaxy of planet. Forget about confederation, that is all sci-fi, this psyop, guys. I am telling scientifically. So this planet, as we have already made a videos, was a great planet, but unfortunately it is no longer the case. It is a mind quarry, guys. You are living inside a mind quarry. The aliens are extremely dangerous. So when Spock analyzes the data and comes across us as an oxygen breathing species, what do you think he will say to Captain Kirk? Extreme danger. Go in warp speed 0.910. Do not engage. Red alert. Super critically dangerous planet is what 99% of the highly advanced species will say. They do not want you to touch with a 10 feet pole, guys. You have no idea, but why? Because you are a planet of oxygen. You breathe oxygen. Extreme danger. You have no idea. But we will prove it scientifically why this one element, the devious, the demonic, the most evil alien civilization, made sure that your life seals with a death kiss. Your life is packaged with death, guys. They made sure you will never be free as long as you breathe oxygen. Oxygen guarantees your reincarnation, guys. It guarantees your death. So don't think some alien, some god gave you life. No, it was an evil, sarcastic game, guys. They know you will be filled with a life of misery even if you are a billionaire. Your death is guaranteed, and most of us will die rotten, right? After 60, pretty much the life is over for every human being. We die slowly, but now we know why. I am telling you, this took me years. And I will show you scientifically. Otherwise, they will accuse you of being a pseudoscientist, right? So I will, let's challenge the mainstream science and using their own words to make sure that they don't have any entry to what we are saying. So forget about Star Trek ever interacting with you. Any highly advanced species have nothing to do with you because you will stab their back, guys. And everything is basically free, and we are a greedy species. No matter how many control we have, they cannot show themselves up and make sure that only 10 good, super good humans are allowed. So it doesn't work that way. Either all or none is how they operate. So the entire human species from Japan to China to Africa to Russia to India must come together as one force for an alien civilization to accept, but we are way far than that. So you see the culmination of human race, right? But there is one common point that is so common and so dangerous, and you know it. You are doing it right now, and that is breathing oxygen, right? You are- this is, I have since I am like, I was very interested in chemistry, etc., biology. So this oxygen is like a default. You are not even, you can question everything. Like your parents, Trump, put in all the government of the world that you are not allowed to question oxygen. It is a de facto because they told you without oxygen you are going to die. But I am telling you, oxygen is the reason for your death. Because every species, once we were created, they made sure you are full of yourself. Indians think we are at the center of the world because of our past civilization, past greatness, right? So every country you visit, they make sure through their propaganda machine that you feel special, you feel center of the world. America is the center of the world. Yes, they will tell you don't visit other countries because America is the greatest. China is the greatest now. So I have encountered many mainstream, they all think they are all into some things that make them feel special, right? So Lloyd Pye 14 years ago made this video introduction to intervention theory. He proves it without doubt how oxygen was introduced. Oxygen is not native to this planet Earth, guys. Take that away. The reason you are alive is not native, it was introduced. Even mainstream media, science agrees the great oxidation event. Let's go a few lines what the mainstream science says. The great oxidation event or great oxygenation event, also called oxygen catastrophe, oxygen revolution, oxygen crisis, was a time interval during the Earth's Paleoproterozoic era when the Earth's atmosphere and shallow seas first experience a rise in concentration of free oxygen. You see, you can go through it. Suddenly there was an oxygen because it was introduced. They knew we need to create a species called humans who will breathe oxygen to make sure planet Earth never evolves. These are the managers of Earth, but behind them, Anunnaki, they were the scientists who were told to create us, but they are a, you, I'm telling you guys, once you go deep into the way they created you, you will understand the beings. You are not dealing with the second most powerful aliens in this galaxy. You are dealing with the most evil and powerful empire in this galaxy. You, no, 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 no. You are not allowed second evil. You are allowed the top, the worst. You have no idea. Once I will deal with it, this chemistry wise, you will understand the aliens we are dealing with, why it's taking so damn difficult to be free, guys. You have one solution and then 100 other problems creeps up, right? They have brought stars to control you. I will not say anything further because it is extremely dangerous. If you are not into all these things, this will, the reason your misery is because they have bought stars, not planets. These are extremely powerful, but behind them are even extremely powerful beings who are behind all this. So since your childhood, when I opened first chapter in first standard, they gave me this oxygen is for life, right? Oxygen is equal to life. Oxygen is essential for life. You must understand what is going on big picture, and oxygen is not your friend. Save oxygen, save life. Oxygen is for life. Oxygen at end of life, what does it comfort, right? But bro, if you don't breathe it, you will die. You think we are stupid? Bro, they know. If you don't breathe, you will die. Are we living in first standard? Are we living in kindergarten? Do you think these people are stupid? They don't know that if you don't breathe, you will die. But they wanted to make sure, because the level, guys, the level of intelligence, the level of evilness is on a different level. Because they know if you don't breathe, you will die. But they make sure if you breathe, you are going to die a miserable death with no freedom. That is why Credo Mutwa told you in Africa the level of evil. These managers of planet Earth, they put the, like, middle finger inside your nose, and they used to only eat the brains of humans back in the day when Chitahuri were active in Africa, right? So you can watch the video on Credo Mutwa. So I managed to get the whole picture. So I was obsessed with this reptilian image. Yes, you can see, I forgot to add. You see this one side of the mouth is longer than this. Credo Mutwa exactly drew this, guys. You see, it's the same guy 80,000 years, because they literally don't die. They have all the technology. So you see is the mouth opening this side. Right side is bigger. Exactly, it's here. So I managed to get his whole image. So you see here hand gloves, white shirt, so white something. So he is clearly a she. It's a female, guys, female reptilian. You see the small breast. So this is a shapeshifter, manager of planet Earth. Where do you see this white hand glove? You see this here. I don't know if you can look at the bottom here. Two white hand gloves. Yes, here. Elizabeth, white hand gloves. So this is nothing but this guy, because this photo was taken in Buckingham Palace, right? So this is where the queen lives. Same white hand gloves, because her fingers sometimes, I don't know what light, when in presence of light or some this one, because UK is always cloudy, because they hate light, this sunlight. So these fingers they put inside a human nose and suck the brain, as Kridomutwa say. That is why these white gloves, guys. You see white gloves. So these are the guys we are dealing with. Now we will come to the scientific portion of it, so that you will not think I am just talking out there, because this is where we play our game, right? Because otherwise there is no point if it is not based in science, because science is good, but the way they are giving the science and twisting it so that it is useless is not good, guys. But the only way forward for us is to synthesize science and our herbal everything together. That is what we do. So once we get the scientific facts correct, we need to jump into the herbal. So that is what I am going to tell you, and I am going to give you the ultimate solution for this. So this is what we have known about oxygen. Oxygen as the giver of life, cellular respiration. Almost every complex organism depends on aerobic respiration. Or oxygen's role is to accept electrons at the end of the mitochondrial electron transport chain. I'm sorry I'm talking in science, but we have to go through it so that it becomes clear that we are not talking some mambo jumbo but scientific facts. In mitochondria, nutrients, glucose, fatty acid, amino acid, these are processed through glycolysis. TCA, we know as Krebs cycle, electrons are transferred to NADH and fat. These electrons feed the electron transport chain. You know all this. Oxygen accepts electrons and becomes water. This reaction allows proton pumping across the mitochondrial membrane, formation of proton gradient, synthesis of ATP by ATP synthase. So this is what is happening when you are breathing right now, but that is what they tell you. But the danger lurks behind it, guys. Beneath is, this is human thought. Oh, so beautiful, right? Without oxygen I am going to die. Lol. ATP powers nearly every biological process. Without oxygen, ATP production drops dramatically. Cells switch to inefficient anaerobic glycolysis. Lactic acid accumulates, tissues fail, so oxygen is essential for energy metabolism. That is just the one phase of oxygen. You have not seen his other phase. Now we are coming the danger. The scientists of aliens, how they saw oxygen as the best candidate for slaves to breathe. The unavoidable leak formation of reactive oxygen species, the death, the reason you are dying is because of this, guys, oxygen. And they made sure you leak this electron. The electron transport chain is not perfectly efficient by design. This is by slow death. You are dying as you breathe by design. About zero point 0.1 to 2% of electrons leak prematurely and react with oxygen. This produces reactive oxygen species such as superoxide radical, electron leakage from etc, hydrogen peroxide, hydroxyl radical. So I am using this GPT to make things faster, but I have researched this for over 5 years, guys, 5 to 10 years, more than like before even chat, but to compress this information I am using it, so I will come to it. Damage caused by reactive oxygen species. Reactive oxygen species attack major cellular components, DNA, base oxidation, strand breaks, mutation. This is not done by Trump. This is done by our friend oxygen itself. Lipid paradoxation, loss of membrane, formation of toxic aldehyde, proteins, oxidation of cysteine and methionine, misfolding, enzyme inactivation. Over time, this contributes to inflammation, mitochondrial dysfunction, cellular senescence, degenerative disease. So all your disease, all your misery is also caused by ROS, reactive oxygen species. The body's antioxidant defense, this is where it comes, and they are trying to make sure that we don't get enough of this, guy. Superoxide dismutase, catalase, glutathione, paradoxin. Do you know what one element is in all of it? That is your savior. The biggest picture I am putting it here, guys, so that you have one way to get out of this misery when your body starts failing. Non-enzymatic oxidant, all these glutathione, vitamin C. So we already know this is scam, but the elements inside this, they have relabeled it. Oxidative stress and aging, when ROS production exceeds antioxidant capacity, this contributes to chronic inflammation, mitochondrial damage, telomere shortening, protein aggregation. Many age-related diseases involve oxidative stress. Neurogenerative $1 billion, cardiovascular 100 billion, metabolic disorder 100 200 billion, right? So they have divided all the disease created by one thing called oxygen, guys. The idea is captured in the oxidative stress theory of aging, the oxygen paradox. Biochemist, this is not a conspiracy theorist, otherwise they will accuse you, right? If you start talking to your friends and family that oxygen is dangerous, you can show them oxygen is both indispensable for life and inherently dangerous to it, all by design, guys. They had many choice. I have researched it. They could have created you based on noble gas, but I will not talk because I am still researching and I have to go to certain countries. Second option, sulfur based. Third option, nitrogen based, nitrogen breathing, sulfur breathing, iron breathing. So many ways you can, noble gas breathing. You can breathe so many elements, but why they made sure you breathe oxygen, guys? Without oxygen, life cannot sustain high energy metabolism, but because oxygen is highly electronegative and reactive, its partial reduction inevitably creates damaging intermediates. Do you know the IQ level required to reach this level? It's in thousands. Only an alien can think in this level how to torture a species that they give life to. So this is where our out is, guys. The balance that sustains life, because they have no intention to kill you as soon as you are born. They want you to live, suffer and die, and make sure you create an offspring that breathe oxygen as well, what we call as marriage and kids and love. They don't see that as a thing. They want every your kid and your parents, everyone, your friends to breathe oxygen and die eventually. But make sure in that between you produce more of your kind. But this is where now the attack has begun, guys, because lot of, like, good souls have come to planet earth to free this. So there is one element that is the big daddy, or that can literally, like, if we do other things also I'm working, but make sure you have less disease and you can live for lot years, 100, 200, even thousands of years. The balancer, the destroyer of ROS, everything depends on it, the balance that sustains life. So this is what we will come to it later. A metaphor for the dual nature of oxygen in everyday term: oxygen is the fire in the heart. Contained fire warms the house and cooks the food. Uncontrolled fire burns the house. The broader perspective. So as you can see, so you now know the evil being we are dealing with, right? But the oxygen, and there is another element in the periodic table that I found, is the biggest picture that can save you. Please take this note down. I am telling you, this is going to be central to your life being made healthier and your escape out of this matrix, and it's sulfur, guys. Everything, all your death, all your suffering is due to lack of sulfur, because they are making sure there is not enough sulfur. If there is adequate sulfur in your body, the entire hospital industry, the pharma industry will collapse overnight. So this is the one thing that can save you from reactive oxygen species, guys. As you can see, they are from the same group, chalcogen, right? Ore forming life engine built on oxygen sulfur dance. In biochemical terms, sulfur is a redox buffer. When there is excess oxidation, it soaks up free radicals. When there is excess reduction, it releases stored oxygen potential. So it keeps oxygen in check. Every time all the ROS antioxidants, right, are made of sulfur. I will give you a shock. The way they have suppressed this element, you don't even know it. I will give you the shock at the end of this video. You will be blown away. I guarantee it. 1 trillion%. You can think of it as a body chemical gearbox. Without it, metabolism stalls in either rust or rot. You can see, as you can see. Why do you die, guys? Because you lack sulfur. Why are you living? Because you are breathing oxygen. You see, it is the dance between oxygen and sulfur. They are from the same group, 816. Atomic number oxygen 8, sulfur 16, chalcogen, right? So sulfur is the big daddy of oxygen. Inside cells, oxygen is the final electron sink. It turns food into energy, but in the process generate ROS. Sulfur stands nearby collecting the fallout, binding the radicals, storing electrons, re-releasing them when needed. Sulfur pathways that guard mitochondria. Inside mitochondria, the engine of oxidation, sulfur compound regulate the redox state. Coenzyme A, they are selling this one thing, but they don't tell you it is sulfur based, guys. It took me so many years, not months, to figure out each shit they are selling online. Glutathione, methothine, coenzyme A. If you search coenzyme A, there are hundreds of products in America worth $20, $30, but they never tell you coenzyme A is sulfur, guys. Everything is sulfur. Your savior is not a conspiracy theorist, not a god. Your savior is sulfur. Please write this down. Iron sulfur clusters sit inside electron transport protein, direct control oxidation. Hydrogen sulfur sulfide, the smell, right? Gasotransmitter. It is your savior. That rotten smell, is good for you, but not in high excess, but small amount, minute. Once thought, but don't take it too much, you will die, because the way the aliens decide is just a little bit that you get through garlic. I will come to the final solution. Hydrogen sulfide, once thought as a poison, is now known to be a gasotransmitter at low levels, extremely critical. Don't take high, you will die. It signals mitochondria to produce antioxidants and improve oxygen efficiency. In other words, the very molecule that smells rot is used by cells to extend their own lifespan. But they will tell you, right? Hydrogen sulfide is bad. Oh, what is that rotten smell, right? That interplay, oxygen's hunger and sulfur generosity, is metabolism. When sulfur reserves thin out, there is a huge conspiracy to make sure you don't get sulfur, guys. Oxygen fire becomes uncontrolled, oxidation without renewal, what we call aging, fibrosis, and inflammation. Keep sulfur plentiful and fire stays contained, heat without burn, breath without decay. Sulfur really does sit at the crossroads of life and rot. Everything alive uses sulfur to walk that tightrope between oxidation and reduction. As you can see, the name that you know as death, I am dying, is nothing but you lack sulfur. So if someone says, bro, I am dying, just say no, you are lack sulfur. Give him sulfur and he will be fine. Aging is basically cumulative oxidation damage, guys. When glutathione fails, aldehyde rise, mitochondrial membranes oxidize, and cells lose redox balance. Apostasis and fibrosis follows. Inside cells, oxygen is the final electron sinks. It turns food into energy, but in the process generate ROS. One could say life itself is the oscillation between sulfur's forgiveness and oxygen's demand. Sulfur is the body's chemical magnet for poison. It holds the deep polarity, reactive enough to neutralize danger, yet stable enough to tuck the waste for excretion. As you can see, this is going more into how the body produces oxygen and how formaldehyde creates and destroys your body, and how sulfur is the savior. Sulfuric compounds are formaldehyde scavengers. In short, cysteine, even cysteine, they are selling cysteine is N-acetylcysteine is nothing but sulfur, guys. Don't be fooled by Amazon, these herbal sellers who are selling you cysteine and N-acetylcysteine, glutathione, right? They are all based on sulfur. And I will come to the biggest shock. You will know about chemistry, that they are flagging in front of you, but you never knew it. You see glutathione's bigger role. You might have heard about glutathione. Every other person talks about sulfur glutathione, but they never tell you inside glutathione is just sulfur. It reacts formaldehyde, because we don't have to make money gain from billions, guys. So one sulfur they are selling you in cysteine, N-acetylcysteine, glutathione, methothine, right? To make money. We don't have this ulterior agenda. So we are going deeper and deeper. Formaldehyde, S-hydroxymethyl glutathione. So I will go quickly. Why the body needs continuous sulfur input? Because to control oxygen, it gets burned out, guys. Every reaction like that consume glutathione or cysteine, they get oxidized to disulfate. The liver needs fresh sulfur from garlic, onion. I'm coming to it. Super crucial. X and methothine to recycle back them. If sulfur runs low, the body cannot neutralize aldehyde, heavy metals, or even free radicals effectively. Oxidative stress builds up, leading to inflammation or brain fog. When sulfur reserves thin out, oxygen becomes uncontrolled. Oxygen without renewal, what we call aging, fibrosis, inflation. Keep sulfur plentiful and the fire stay contained. Heat without burn, breath without decay. So you see how super critical sulfur is, guys. And now I'm coming to the sources. I have a lot to cover, guys, so I'm quickly covering this. So please make sure you have adequate supply of cruciferous vegetables, because they contain very high amount of sulfur. But this is where the whole sadness comes to me, guys, because the life to come to this level itself is hard enough, right, to research and everything. But what is soul crushing is this, guys. I have never felt so demoralized by researching and finding out the truth. The most demoralizing and depressing thing for me is going for shopping, guys. Believe it or not, I am telling you, because everything is GMO or fertilized or chemically sprayed, right? So you are not getting the original one. It is either GMO or hybrid. So I am like 100 in my energy, but when I come from the market, my energy level drops to 5%. But when you take it, make sure it is original, or at least grow something, or go to Thailand. One place that I can guarantee it. I have tried everything. India, forget it. China, US, Europe, forget it. All chemtrail bad. Only place, if you really think you need to rebuild your life, is, yeah, I found one more country, but going there is very difficult. Iraq, I have covered it. Iraq and Thailand are the two places where the food is still sane, because these all came from the Middle East, right? But there is very less greed in Thailand, guys. So Thailand and Iraq is the two places where you get 100 out of 100 marks. You won't come home disappointed. So leek, shallot and asparagus, all very good, extremely, but even that detox inducer, please, I will make a separate video on turmeric. Please only have fresh turmeric, not the powdered one, because they are adding lead. The aliens are adding lead, because all the turmeric from India gets into a bottleneck, goes to the same distributor in Gujarat. I have tracked it, Gujarat, Maharashtra, and then they mix all this poison to make sure that you don't get 100% benefit. So mustard and radish, cabbage and broccoli and moringa is good, but the one thing that's still safe is garlic, guys. Garlic and onion. Please have at least 1 or 2 cloves of garlic a week or month. I am telling you, 90% of your health problem will vanish. Garlic is extremely important, and onion. But here also they made sure that you don't get access to good garlic and onions. And now you know, guys, why aliens don't want to visit you, because you will become a burden, guys. We are all a burden to other. We are a parasite, if you don't like it or not, because we breathe oxygen. We are in constant need for fulfillment. We need this, we need that, right? Even I told you about 16, right? This is goes to other branch also. 16 sulfur, right? Infinity. I will make a separate video about this hexa uh, decimal system. Why IPv4, IPv6 use hexadecimal system? Because infinity and stability, guys. But I just want you to remember for now, 16 number is very very crucial. There is a play between blue light and yellow. You see, sulfur is yellow. You need yellow. You are critically lacking in yellow color, guys. Carotenoid, right? Lutein and zeaxanthin, I have already told you why your eyesight goes. You need the flower that I discussed has lot, marigold, right? So the aliens know one thing that is not making you sick is lack of sulfur. So they are slowly removing sulfur, guys. That is why the people in 15 and 20 young adult kids are getting sick, and by the time when we reach 40, we are sick to the core. They know we will die. You see the level of evil. Like, if I create a species, I know he is going to eventually die. Leave him alone, man, right? At least that's the only level of evil I can come. But these people are super evil, guys. That is why we cannot even comprehend the level of evil. Please understand the level of evil. They are extremely evil. They know we will die, but why not torture them while dying? Right? So every day must feel like a torture and suffering, because yellow, they, all your screen is high contrast to blue color, blue screen of death. avoid blue, like in the context that I am telling you, but you are filled with blue. Your LED bulb is blue, right? Your mobile is blue, your laptop blue screen of death, everything is blue around you. So please avoid blue, increase yellow color in your life. Yes, where did you see this? As above so below, fight between yellow and blue. Ukraine. So when the war in Ukraine, Russia started fake war, was the time they increased the depletion of yellow, guys. It is super critical for you to understand. And for the sulfur, do not ever, I think if you are in the west, you are most likely to get Chinese garlic. Avoid the bigger garlic, it does shit. Sorry for my French. Do not take Chinese garlic, guys. I have been a victim of it. Has nothing, like you cannot even call this a garlic. So if you have been taking garlic from China, which it is the largest producer of garlic, 90% of the export in the world is from China. It does nothing. Then you will tell, "Arey, Soul Voice video made no sense. I am not feeling it," because you are thinking aliens are stupid. They have already covered the ground. This is why I told you the biggest misery and demoralizing thing that I feel is not when I research, it is when I go to the market, guys. This is the time when I feel the worst. You will not believe the anger and frustration that I have when I go out, because you will think this stage you have found out, but this is the most painful part. So please do not get Chinese garlic. It is not even a garlic. Indian is good. I know most of the things in India is bad, but surprisingly, in India, garlic and onion is extremely good. Only please do not even take the onion from China. There are very good things in China. Angelica sinensis, we have covered it. That is a different topic. Because there is another thing, soybean, that I will cover in another video. Incredible. That is also GMO. But right now, please avoid garlic from China at any cost. Only take Indian or Thailand. Avoid big size. This does nothing. You see this Thai purple garlic. This is extremely powerful. The purple small one. You can see here. These are very good. These are grown locally. But if you can't find the Thai one, Indian one is also extremely good. But I don't know if you can find it, because this has so many things, guys. Allicin, it has some 200 sulfur based compounds, garlic. So if you take even 2 cloves a day, I am telling you, like 20 to 30% of the disease, especially related to your cardiovascular and your blood pressure and hypertension, will be taken care of, which is the number one killer on planet Earth, right? Heart attack and blockage. You will never have blockage. So please take garlic, and please take onions, the red ones, not the stupid Chinese white one. It does nothing. The Indian one is the best. So you can take it. I have complained a lot about Indian. I am not telling Indian is the best, because I am from India. I am being very honest, guys. You can watch my video. I have complained a lot, but what is truth, I have to tell you what is good in India and what is bad. So Indian is very good. Always take this. But now I am coming to the way they have fooled us, guys. How critical sulfur is. You have no idea. But as I promised, I will give you a shock that you will be blown away. I'm telling you, sulfur is the king. It is the savior. Get any food from broccoli to cabbage from the Middle East, or you know if it is a good quality. Garlic and onion, always eat, so that you have lot less disease and you can concentrate more on research. Yes, you, I know, I promised you, right? I will give you a shock. The most heard hormone and the disease cure that you have heard, which I was shocked that in America they are selling for $800 or some $20,000 a vial, right? Insulin. There are thousands of articles on insulin, 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 but do you know what is the formula for insulin? Do you know why humanity needs insulin? Why the problem of insulin is world over? Insulin is a hormone produced by pancreas that regulates blood sugar. In India and Asia, in China, this is a big problem. The body either doesn't make enough insulin. That's it. You are not supposed to ask what is inside insulin, bro. Have you ever thought the formula? Have you ever looked into? No, because the way they write this, you think that is all there is, right? I will give you a shock. Why the entire human race is suffering from diabetes? Diabetes is a rapidly growing health emergency with 1 in 9 adults, 420 millions living with the condition. It causes over 1.5 million deaths annually, often resulting in blindness, kidney failure, heart attack, amputation. Cases are rising, particularly low and middle income countries. Diabetes prevention has nearly doubled. By 2050, it is projected 1 in 8 adults. Silent killer, fatal complication. You know all this, but have you ever wondered what is the formula? Sulfur, guys. This was the shock. You see, sulfur, yes, this is the magic. Insulin contains 3.5 sulfur by mass, which is used to calculate. Because when you lack sulfur, you get diabetes. This is insane. Even I 20 years. I'm telling you, when I was like in my 20s, I heard about this glucose and insulin, but only when I became a conspiracy theorist, like a decade or two ago, I came to know that insulin contains sulfur. Wow! You see, the chemical formula for human insulin is carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen. These are the structure. You see S6. This is what the magic is here. Formula, components, carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, sulfur. So you now know the brain, guys. The entire science, entire mainstream, whatever you see here is controlled. They know the one thing that makes you sick is the lack of sulfur. They are making sure the food depletes sulfur, guys. Lot of food and the environment, wherever you see, in front of sitting in front of a laptop, in front of EMF 5G, right? 5G, 4G, what actually it depletes your defensive mechanism, sulfur, guys. Every EMF wave's job is to deplete sulfur. That is why you feel headache. That is why you are having cardiovascular disease. These guys are brilliant, and this is not even the king of the galaxy. He is just a manager of Earth, guys. Can you imagine the empire that we are dealing with? So yeah, guys, please, I'm requesting you, if you want to live a lot longer and be healthy, not suffer, please make sure that you have adequate quantity of sulfur from the food source. The garlic and onion is the best, but not Chinese. Indian or Thai or Iraqi ones are also good. So yeah, guys, I will make other videos soon. It has become long, but I hope you have watched it till the end. This will really help you in your life. Thanks.